I'm Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
And we're going for a drive.
The brand new, totally redesigned 2019 BMW 3 Series.
We are in the 330i right now.
Disclaimer, we filmed a 320 diesel.
So if you see a white car on the screen right now, that is a diesel.
And we will be driving the M340i on track a little bit.
On the racetrack, yes. But currently we are driving the 330i, so our driving impressions are from the 330i rear-wheel drive.
And it is an M something.
It is not.
So it's not an M.
No, it's not.
It's not an M Performance.
No, it's not.
It is a
regular old BMW 330i, but it has M Sport stuff like M Sport brakes and M Sport suspension, which is honestly very confusing.
And the next thing we need to also mention, this is like Mercedes, hey Mercedes, this is hey BMW.
And it just triggered. We also changed the trigger word.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe.
Hello, what can I help you with?
Don't forget to subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
This function is currently not available.
Ah, no.
Damn it.
It didn't work. All right, don't subscribe.
Yeah.
So horsepower and torque.
This is a 2-liter, 4-cylinder turbo with 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, and I will send it right now. Honestly, that torque really helps. You really do feel the torque. I don't have an issue with this. As pretty much a base engine, this is very, very good.
How does it handle through cliché Portugal?
Yeah, so we are in Portugal. Thank you, BMW, for bringing us out here. Beautiful Portimao. In terms of cliché Portugal handling, it's very good. It does oversteer when you want it to. So when you put it into Sport and Sport Plus, because why would you ever put it into Sport Standard? But it does handle quite well. This does not have the adaptive suspension. It does have the M Sport suspension, so it is a little bit stiffer, and it is quite stiff.
Rear-wheel drive, but the M340i will be driving
Is an X-Drive.
X-Drive,
which is all-wheel.
All-wheel drive.
That's right. And in terms of handling, the turn-in is very good. I wouldn't say that there's a lot of feel through the wheels, but you still kind of know exactly what the car's gonna do. You don't know where the wheels are necessarily, but it doesn't really bother me in this car. Like, it knows what I want it to do, and it kind of just does it.
Remember the M5? We talked about the steering wheel. When you hit it, it did that wiggle thing and it straightened out.
This feels less digital to me than the M5 does.
Do the wiggle thing like we did in the other one.
It doesn't correct itself back on center. It's great. This is what I want from a steering wheel. That's what bothered me so much about that M5.
You turn the wheel and it goes that way.
Yeah, well, it corrects itself back to center. That's what bothered me. This continues along its previous path. And so we have several different drive modes, and in Sport Plus, it does get pretty heavy, so BMW enthusiasts will like the heavy steering, I think.
And we got a nice thick steering wheel.
Yeah, it's very thick. THICC. Yeah. If you like BMW thick steering wheels, you will really like this one. And then we have paddles on the steering wheel controlling an 8-speed transmission. It is an auto, it's not a dual clutch, so it's not as fast as a dual clutch, but for an auto, it is quite good. However, I feel like there's a little bit of lag in the gauge while I'm shifting, so the car actually shifts slightly faster than what I see in the gauge showing me.
But the gauges do respond very quickly, but I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's almost like there's a slight disconnect between what the actual transmission is doing versus what the gauge is showing me. Just maybe like a couple 100 milliseconds off. That's it.
Hundredths of a millisecond.
Whatever. And we do have the M Sport optional rear differential, which is really nice. So it does pull you through corners because that's what you want. You want rear-wheel drive with a proper differential. Now let's talk about the engine sound. Sounds pretty good. You can hear some slight crackles and pops, like very, very slight, but the actual engine sound sounds pretty good. I think it's being pumped in. It kind of has to be because it's so loud in here, just engine-wise. Overall, like the ride quality and everything like that, it's pretty quiet.
I want to cut you off with all this driving stuff.
Oh yeah, sorry, I get excited.
Because let's be real, this is the first BMW with the talking stuff.
All right, Yuri.
So let's get into that a bit. It's prompted by Hey BMW, and it's got 2 microphones. The cool thing about this compared to MBUX, if I say, Hey BMW, turn on my heated seats.
Hello, what can I help you with?
Turn on my heated seat.
Please repeat your input or say help.
Turn on the heated seat.
I set the seat heating at the passenger seat at level 3.
So once you say it correctly, it knows what microphone I spoke into, so it'll turn on that specific heated seat. The Mercedes always screw that up.
Exactly. However, as you saw, the system is not perfect by far.
It is way more difficult to use than the MBUX.
Yeah, some of the commands that you think you should say, they don't quite register.
Yeah, it's not as intuitive. I feel like they don't have as many ways to command what you want to say. And this system does not let you talk to Google or whatever. Like, I can't just ask it a conversion question and it'll come back to me. Not yet.
Apparently that is coming. They have
They're
told
working
us.
on it.
Exactly. Oh, and speaking of Google, do we have Android Auto in the brand new BMW 3 Series?
No.
No.
Apple CarPlay only, and it's wireless Apple CarPlay, which I do not like.
But back to that Android Auto thing, without naming names, someone told us that they are working on Android Auto for BMW.
Since this is a car that gets wireless updates, if you buy a 2019 BMW 330i and say they don't get Android Auto until like 2 or 3 years, from what that seems like, they can update that in the future and you'll get it.
In theory, you will be able to get it. If they add it, yes. And so without that, what I currently have to do is place my phone on the wireless charger because it has that, and then use Bluetooth and it'll actually read out my directions while I look at it in the wireless charger.
Speaking of chargers, we do have a USB port in between the cup holders. I asked one of the interior designers, I'm like, why would you put that where the coffee spills? You know what he said? It's waterproof.
Waterproof.
So I'm like, I could pour water in there, plug in my iPhone cable to my phone, and it should be fine. I haven't tested it out. If anybody has ever short-circuited their phone by pouring water, I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to test it out, but I also don't want to short out my phone.
Yeah.
Other infotainment stuff. So they've changed the menu around. Like when you go to home, you've got this menu on the left, but if you scroll, if you push right, then you kind of also have widgets.
You have 3 different home screens that you can customize.
And then you can also swipe down to do stuff and use the wheel to go through the similar BMW settings. I'm not really a big fan. I'm getting very confused by all of it.
But it does work quickly, which is really nice. There's no lag in the system.
I assume it will rewind satellite radio stations, but we're in Europe and they don't do that here.
Yeah, no rewinding satellite radios that we can say yet, but it probably has it.
And I also assume it'll pass the small cup of Tim Hortons coffee test. It'll be right on the edge.
It does look like it, yes.
Definitely take a McDonald's small.
And you guys complain that we don't do box tests. We've never box tested a sedan, so no box test.
How about the visor test?
Well, let's find out. Should we do it in the roundabout?
No. Roundabouts here are confusing.
Okay, I'm gonna go straight back.
3, 2, 1, fail.
Fail.
Funny thing is, we spoke to one of the BMW engineers who does the interiors, and he said they used to do it, but they got complaints that people don't want that.
Customer feedback said that people didn't want sliding visors.
And then within 1 minute of driving this car, we got stuck in the sun in his eyes.
Yeah.
Here's a video of that.
Follow us on Instagram, Yuri Tereshin, TheStraightPipes.
So there's a couple more cool things that they introduced into this one. So we do have nice radar cruise, lane keep assist.
It does work better than previous generations.
In the North American version, we'll be able to have your hands off the steering wheel up to 60 kilometers an hour, and it won't yell at you as long as you have your eyes on the road. There's a radar thing to check, but we haven't gotten that to work like that because this is a European spec.
That's right.
Then it also has this cool thing that's reverse memory. So if you drive into something, it'll remember 50 meters of automatically backing you out through that same thing. And if you turn off your car, come back 2 months later, it'll still remember that.
Super cool.
We do have these lights on the door panels with the interior lighting, and what's the best part about them?
It changes color so that it gives people behind you a warning, so it turns red if you had the interior setting to blue.
And it flashes like this, so you know it's like a stop.
Super cool. One other thing that I noticed right away,
No piano black.
no gloss black, pretty much anywhere, only the touch buttons for your radio and custom settings. That's it.
And the shifter.
Yeah, but like all of that is absolutely perfect. Thank you for doing that. Now, earlier you cut me off talking about driving. I'm gonna talk about driving a little bit more. I'm just gonna sum up the drivetrain in this and I'm gonna let you drive.
Let's go for it.
So the 330i with all the M Sport parts is very good overall. So we're gonna show you guys some track stuff from the M340i. It is a prototype, so it is in full camo, and then when we come back, Yuri's gonna be in the driver's seat. Okay, sending it with Timo Glock as our pace car driver at Portimao. This is crazy. He's in an M2 competition, and we are pacing him in the M340i with about 130-ish extra horsepower compared to the 330i. I don't remember the exact numbers, so I'm gonna show you those on the screen right now.
Look, I'm obviously not the best at track, and I'm not gonna look at the camera while I'm driving, but this car to get in and go, honestly, so much friggin' fun.
And now I'm going to turn traction into sport mode, and this car does let you get slightly sideways, and it's unreal. And a little drift. Oh, this is the best. Okay, when companies let you drift with traction control on, that's the best, because they allow you to have fun while still being in control.
Whoa, a little too crazy there. The traction in Sport DSC or whatever it is, you know, one mode not fully off is amazing. Rotates so nicely. You can like drift and it's all-wheel drive.
Yuri's drifting, I'm drifting, tandem drifts with Timo Glock on the racetrack. This is unreal. The car handles really well, not gonna lie. The tires feel like they should have more grip at some parts, but maybe I'm just pushing it slightly too hard. I'm not really sure yet. But man, this thing handles well. The turning is great. The suspension is very good. I am in Sport Plus mode, because why would you be in Sport Standard? It sounds pretty good. This is the straight six with a turbo.
This track is wild, lots of elevations. Honestly, I friggin' love Portugal. Best driving roads ever. I hate that Ontario sucks so bad. But like, what can you do, right? Hit 230 kilometers an hour. Man, this car is friggin' fast and it brakes so hard.
It doesn't dive that much under braking, like it's very controllable. So we've got an 8-speed ZF transmission, and it is slightly different than the one that's in the 330i. They optimize it for cooling so you can drive on the track. They optimize the shift times on the M340i versus the 330i, and it is definitely noticeable. I did complain slightly about the shift times on the 330i. This is the better transmission. This is the better car.
You honestly don't really know how good a car is until you put it on the track and they let you get like some traction off, some sport mode. Okay, my hands do hurt a bit from the thick steering wheel.
I can't believe they let you drift perfectly with the traction control system. They have destroyed Mercedes in terms of traction control systems. This is almost on the level of Porsche, and that is saying a lot.
And I'm following an F1 driver, which is insane. Holy fishtail band, man. This is so easy to control. Oh my God, I freaking love this car.
Yuri got way too sideways there. Come on, Yuri.
Too much sideways.
He just got yelled at by Timo Glock. Full sideways from Timo, full sideways from Jakub. His tires are smoking, my tires are going. Yes, Timo. I do prefer this to the 330i. Undeniably, this is way more fun, but we didn't push the 330i that hard on the roads.
A little too much sideways. This is honestly the most fun I've ever had on a track.
The differentials just feel like magic. It gives you so much confidence in the car. I don't feel like I'm gonna spin out at any point. All right, Timo, I got you on this one. I got you, come on. Let me pass. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to go back to the road now, and Yuri's gonna have to drive the 330i. I would like to just live at the racetrack just the entire time, because this is so much fun. Do you have any tire left?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was good fun.
That was fun. Dude, that was awesome. Thank you.
You were trying to correct my oversteering like it was a problem. Hey BMW.
Hello. What can I help you with?
I'm tired.
All right. I have activated the Vitalize program.
Hopefully we have the license to this song. Hey BMW, end Vitalize program.
The best part is it's a BMW song called Vitalize with no artist, and it's the same across the board for all the BMWs.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
So their new anthem for You're Tired is Techno Beats.
In the future, they will probably allow you to change it.
I hope not. Unless it's the Root Sandstorm.
Yeah.
The gauges are really cool. We've got a new digital cockpit.
Yeah, I don't like the tack on the right. It kind of goes up the opposite way of how I want it to, but I get why they did it. I just want different options for circles.
Yeah, the only options you can get is different colors with Comfort or Eco Pro. But you can have the map navigation right in the middle, which is very cool, and you can get that on the head-up display as well.
Very effective. Let's talk about these seats. Very comfortable, like super comfortable. We also have adjustable bolstering on the passenger side and the driver's side.
How about the back seats?
Back seats are very good. I actually fit in the back behind myself at 6'1.5", so very good job, BMW. It's very comfortable. We have soft touch wherever you want it. That's about it.
Lots of hard buttons. We've got this cool pattern.
Yeah.
Rhombical.
And then the ambient lighting actually looks really nice. It's really sharp and crisp, and I think it's brighter than the previous generations of everything else.
But it's still those like purple, lilac, and green colors that I'm not too fond of.
That's right. Now let's get to the exterior, because we haven't even talked about that 1 second.
I think it looks great.
I think it looks really good.
They just sharpened the hell out of it from previous generation.
I want to start with the headlights. They are so razor sharp. The fact that the bumper cuts into the headlights a bit love it. The M340i looks slightly different, so that'll get different bumpers. So here's that.
Yeah, and like that fog light area is different in the 330i than it is in the white one we've been showing.
That's right. And speaking of lights, laser lights! We got frickin' laser beams in the frickin' headlights.
Okay.
And the way to tell is in the headlight, it actually says laser, but you can see little blue accents in the headlights.
And the grills are bigger and sharper.
And they're chrome, which not my favorite. Dark chrome would have been nice, but I'm sure on the M models, it'll probably be some kind of dark chrome.
We've got a really cool body line at the bottom now.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I think that looks pretty cool. I'm excited to see what it's gonna look like with like an M3 with like big butt, you know what I mean?
The wheels look okay. Not my favorite, but they're a pretty simple design. And we have pretty good tires on here as well.
And we do have some cool body panels like around the front quarter panel. That thing looked really cool as well.
Yeah, so BMW actually shaved a bunch of weight for this model. So the hood is aluminum, and I believe the front fenders are also aluminum. So I think it was like shaving about 120 pounds overall from the previous gen. Taillights look great. We have LEDs. Yeah, LEDs, man.
And it's like, it looks like it's smoked around there too. The red just sticks out. I think these are the best BMW taillights right now.
Yeah, I agree.
From a not like i8.
Yeah, and then the exhaust looks pretty good. We have dual exhaust, no fakeness going on. And then we have little fake bumper vents on the side. So that's the only fakeness on the rear bumper.
I think this generation of 3 Series looks better than the last generation of 3 Series compared to the C-Class, like directly.
Yeah, I agree. Like the 2019 to the 2019.
It snuck up a lot closer than the 2018 did.
Yeah.
So let's get to the price.
The 2019 330i starts at $49,000.
Canadian.
And we actually have the exact US price, which is $40,250. But the 2020 M340i, we don't have a Canadian price. However, we have an American price, $56,000 US dollars starting.
And by the way, we don't get rear wheel drive in Canada.
Yeah, so we haven't actually driven the X-Drive, which we are getting in Canada. So overall, this car handles really well. The engine is very good. The transmission is good. The gauges are a huge improvement. Nothing's perfect though.
It's got new tech that's going to become updatable wirelessly, so it'll constantly be the newest stuff.
Huge improvement over the previous model.
So if you're looking to get a 3 Series,
this is pretty good.
Pretty cool time to start.
Try not to get the 2018 discounts, just go for the 2019.
Yeah. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Patreon.com/TheStraightPipes. Join our YouTube membership and share this video with your friends.
And follow us on Instagram so you can see our adventures in Portugal.
And Facebook, but mostly Instagram.
Facebook, we use Facebook.
Some people do. By the way, this is Portimao Blue. That's why we're in Portimao.
I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. This is a subscription break. Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe right now. Subscribe. We didn't do that.